It's Trixie. Welcome to the underground. I'm wearing my Stevie shirt because tomorrow she's coming to Boston. I won't be there. And it's the 40th anniversary of Rock a Little, which is my favorite Stevie album. And she didn't do anything from Rock a Little in the Hartford concert. So I kind of love that. That's like my favorite album. But hopefully people in Boston will have something. I have a feeling she's going to do something. Everybody's clamoring for it, all her fans. But she was wild in that album. She's not. I don't think she can sing "I Can't Wait." It's so fast. So she's kind of a little slow. She does slower versions of songs. So I think the only one would be like "Talk to Me," which is not one of my favorites. So I would love to hear, like No Spoken Word or The Nightmare, and she's not going to do that. I'm thinking "Talk to Me." So I Can't Wait would have been my favorite. Okay, let's get going. I'm on vacation this week. Thank you, God. Thank you. I was just going crazy. People are so rude. I can't take it. I'm like, I need more events. Get me out of the stores now because I can't stand it. I can't stand. Everybody is ruder around the holidays. Don't ask me why. They should be happy, but I guess because they're spending money that they don't have. So I talked to this lady, and she was old. Like when I say old, older than me. I'm 60. She was either in her late 70s. I'm telling you, she was old. And she's talking about, like, she suffered from Trump derangement. I mean, I probably have a little bit of it, but not as bad as she did. Her husband actually walked away from the conversation, and I could see why. She's like, when's the last time you watched porn? I'm asking about Home Improvement, okay? When's the last time I watched porn? I had to sit back and think about it. I said, it's been a while, ma'am. And she's like, well, there's spitting, there's choking. And I think about that. I'm like, geez, it's accelerated since the last time. Yeah, that's not sexy to me. Like 50 Shades of Grey, maybe a little bit of fantasy in there, but not like, I can't imagine like sitting, choking my partner or spitting on my partner. It's insane. So no. But I don't know why she was obsessed with it. She was talking about the Epstein files and all this stuff. And I'm like, just really shh, calm down. It's okay. Oh, I don't know. And then this past weekend, I went to see a lesbian rock band. And it's been a while since I saw them. The lady, the lead singer they're like, most of them are gay. Screaming. And, I don't know if it's because of me. I'm close. I'm too close. I'm deaf. I'm too old. Either one of those could be a factor. I just was like, let's go. And then there was this aggressive lesbian making us all look bad. And I couldn't figure out whether she was a man or a woman. So, I'm just going to say like Saturday Night Live, it's Pat. Remember Pat? You couldn't tell no matter what. Well, she was Pat. She was dancing with men and women. So I was like, I can't figure it out. I'm thinking she was a lesbian. She just resembled a man in every way. Aggressive. How you go to a bar, you're a woman, and the men are like, come on, come dance with me. She was trying to pick out all the straight girls. And, I get it. They're hot. And they wouldn't dance with her. And she put a scarf around my friend's neck and tried to pull her on the dance floor right in front of her jealous wife. You know what I'm talking about. The warring lesbians. And I was like, oh, what's going to happen? She's going to come up and punch her in the face. So nothing happened. It was cool. Just on the way out the door, the lesbian goes, thanks for dancing with me. And I was like, what? You're making us all look bad. Stop. Rejection is a part of being man. It is. Like, I've never been rejected. Take a shot. You missed the shot? Take another shot. You missed that shot? Keep going. Eventually you'll whoosh, swish. Okay, here we go. Let's go. Trump met with Mandami, which is pretty funny, calling him a communist, and I'm going to withhold folding. I'm going to withhold money from New York, and, blah, blah, blah. They met, and then they're in love. Well, Trump's in love. He does that. And Mandami was kind of truthful. They're like, well, how do you feel about, you called him a fascist? Do you still feel that way? And he was kind of like trying to answer, and Trump's like, don't worry about it. I've been called worse. Worse. I've never been called worse. I don't know. But he's like, it's a compliment. I've been called worse, and I consider it a compliment. So, I don't know. But he says he wants to see New York do well. He's going to work with him. So, I think that's a positive thing. Everybody says Trump's normal in private. Like, he has this public persona where he starts threatening you and whatever. And then sicks his dogs on you like Marjorie Taylor Greene. We'll talk about that. so she's still in Congress. She's resigning, but she was on all like, CNN and wow. She said she's no longer going to use toxic rhetoric. She said to Dana Bash on CNN on State of the Union last week, Trump's rhetoric could lead to violence. I mean, she's already had her life threatened and her kids' life threatening. Well, I'm thinking like that had something to do with her resigning. And plus the fact she probably wouldn't win because Trump said he'd primary her, called her Marjorie Taylor Greene. And she threw it back at him like, you're the one who's taking all the money and dealing with foreign countries, like instead of dealing with your own people. So I, you know, Dana asked her, "Why didn't you speak up when it was all directed until it was directed at you? Because all this stuff he was saying, you kept your mouth shut until it was directed at you." And she said, "That's fair criticism." So AOC is like not buying it. She's like, "I don't care." She still votes with Trump. It's true. She's not going to stop being a Republican. She's going to stop using hateful language, which let's like give her applause because, okay, anybody who tries to get out of the darkness, don't throw them back in. Like, let's welcome her in and see what happens. I mean, so, she had a pipe bomb threat at her construction company. And then her son was the target of a death threat. She's talking like a Democrat. She said President Trump's unwarranted and vicious attacks against me were a dog whistle. That's what the Democrats said. Against me were a dog whistle to dangerous radicals that could lead to serious attacks on me and my family already has. Then he said, I think it was yesterday, and happy birthday, Mosh. You're 89. It's pretty scary. 5 more years. 5 more years. You can't die yet. So he said about her, quote, "It's not going to be easy for her to get back into politics." Oh, yeah, unless you kiss my ass. Is that what he's saying? And then he says, "I'd love to see it. She's got to take a little rest." Boy, does he talk like John Gotti or something. And then he says she's a good person. He's bipolar. Is she a traitor? Is she a good person? I don't know. He welcomed the Saudi Crown Prince bin Salman, who kind of ordered the bone saw of Khashoggi, the journalist for the Washington Post that was critical of the Saudis, and he's sitting there smiling as the reporters asking him. Oh my God, it was like, and then Trump was like, "You're not a good person." Then he called another one on his plane, not Miss Piggy, but Piggy. He's sick. That sounds like Jeffrey Epstein stuff. Like, now I can see why he hangs around with those types of people. It's like, how you say you are what you hang with, or, oh my God, that must mean I'm crazy. I hang with some crazy people. But Trump said of Khashoggi he was controversial. I mean, okay, so does that mean he deserves to be sawed in half? I don't understand. What is wrong with him? No moral compass. He ordered the U.S. Treasury to draft a dollar coin featuring his orange face on it on both sides for honoring America's 250th birthday and the President of the United States, according to Treasury officials. I ordered that blue Massachusetts license plate. I donated $40 to Massachusetts and paid $20 for the swap. So I'm kind of happy about it because this is where it all started in my state. So, what else is going on? Axios report Ted Cruz might run for president in 2028. Trump's quietly pissed off, and it's going to turn from quiet to, openly talking about it. And I guess J.D. Vance is going to run, but good. I hope Ted Cruz runs. I think that's wonderful. It's wonderful news for the Democrats. What happened to DeSantis? I'm just wondering. He just kind of faded out of view. I guess his window has closed. After Massachusetts passed that millionaires tax in 2023, 2 years later, like everybody was saying they would flee. No, there's still millionaires here. This is according to Robert Reich. $5.7 billion has been collected for infrastructure and public education, which we know is a mess. That's why we're number one in almost everything. On TMZ, Trump's calling for the arrest and hanging of the Democrats. And a lot of them served our country, and he didn't. And because they're saying, you have an obligation basically to disobey an unlawful order, which is what they swear. You swear an oath to the Constitution, not to one guy. And I agree with that. I mean, what he's like, I'm sorry, but I think we're fighting back. We're sick of it, and good. I think that's good. So he wants them hanged. I don't understand. Called it sedition, basically. So he's really undoing himself. I mean, he's unraveling in front of our very eyes, and more people are coming out. Independents I talk to don't like him. The Latinos are leaving him. So it's just his base. If you look at his ratings, 38%, that's his base. And I've talked to the base. They still like him. I don't think there's anything that he can do to lose his base. He's got that strong of a hold on people where they don't see the reality of it, that's pretty amazing to me. Wisconsin Public Radio, Trump administration no longer considers nursing a professional degree. Again, he can't stand women. He doesn't want us to work and be professional. That's a way to see, again, cutting funding, making it harder for us to do it. So it means getting financial help to complete your nursing degree will be harder. So you know how important nurses are, and there's a shortage as it is. He's doesn't get it. He's old. Good luck. Good luck finding a nurse. I don't know what to say. The Department of Education, the new definition of professional programs, nursing, physician assistant. These are females mostly. Nurse practitioner, physical therapy, audiologist must follow new borrowing limits. The professionals are doctors, dentists, lawyers. They can borrow up to $50,000 a year or $200,000 total. All the others, 20.5 thousand or $100,000 total. It's a joke. In Vanity Fair, Gisele Bundchen was talking about her marriage to Tom Brady. Do I have to listen to him today? I can't. I really can't. I feel like I got to watch football when he's on it with the volume down. I can't stand his voice. Not that he doesn't know what he's talking about. He's excellent with football knowledge, especially quarterbacks, routes, wide receivers, and all that. But I can't listen to the way he phrases things. It's just awful. She's saying she just moved to Tampa when she never had been there. Basically, for him, because he played for the Bucks and later in his career, at the end of his career. So I remember when I went to Clearwater in Tampa, I loved it. It was fun. I went in November, I think it was 2020, during COVID. And I remember sitting at a bar across from our hotel, and all of a sudden I see, and I'm not lying, Michael Myers. When I say Michael Myers, I mean the Halloween Michael Myers, walking down the street with a knife like that, pointed downward, with the mask, walking. Nobody's even... I'm noticing because I'm like, look. And I was like, what do we do? And I was ready to where do I run in case he goes on a rampage? Just nobody. Can you imagine how screwed up people got to be to not notice that walking down the street? I don't know. Okay. So Gisele was talking about, can you tell I have ADHD? I just kind of trail off. Her marriage took years to unravel, which is true. It doesn't just, your relationship doesn't just end. There's always signs of it. We're going to talk about that too. She says, when you love someone, you don't put them in jail. Are you saying she was put in jail, or she thinks he was put in jail, not letting him play football or whatever, and say, quote, you have to live this life. You set them free to be who they are. So maybe she's saying, okay, if you got to go do this, I got to go do that. She's starting to model again. She's got the life she wants. She just had a kid. I just don't know who was in jail, her or him. Seth Meyers is not too shaken by the Trump threat to get him off the air. He's calling for him to be fired. And of course, Jimmy Kimmel again, still whatever. Jimmy's not fazed. In his opening monologue last week, Seth showed Trump's face in Hillary's famous blue pantsuit, which he looked like that blueberry girl in Willy Wonka. That was hysterical. He looked very wide, like he couldn't fit in the screen. Trump reversed himself like he did on his own tariffs. He reduced the tariffs or took them off for coffee and beef and fruit, I think, which I don't even eat, so it doesn't affect me. So he says release the Epstein file. So they voted on it. He signed it. However, watch out. They're scrubbing the Republican names off it. his name is mentioned like, I don't know, 1,600 times, and he's calling for the investigation of just Democrats. Yeah, it's just the Democrats, even though we see your picture in every other, scene with Jeffrey. Like, yeah, you have nothing to do with anything. Boy, I was thinking like he didn't have anything to do with it, and he's just nuts. But he only cares about himself, so something's in there that he doesn't want out. So we're not going to see it. Understand this. They have control. They're not going to show us anything that is damning to him. So, according to sources, I think Mark Epstein said this, and he's not revealing, but it was a source that's very credible, as they're scrubbing the Republicans' names. So, what else is going on? What else is going on? Epstein survivors, according to Axios and The Guardian, one says 30, one says 28 of the survivors said they received death threats in a new letter. The letter's titled, "What We're Bracing For." It's always like you're blaming the one who gets raped rather than the rapist. I'm sorry, but the rapist is at fault. And she said that they were saying they asked police for help. This is why it does not get reported. So that's why Lorena Bobbitt, I'm sorry. Once they lose that, what are you going to do? They ain't going to hurt you like that anymore. But I don't know. She said many of us, I don't know who said it, many of us have already received death threats and other threats of harm. That was Virginia Giuffre, the one who killed herself. Oh, shit. Oh, sorry. I shouldn't swear. Okay, let me see what else. I already said that. Okay, let's talk about relationships for a minute. I love Mark Travers, the psychologist. This is in Forbes. One reason why 69% of your arguments will never go away. Boy, this is great. I mean, I'm already not in a relationship anymore, but this scares me that you have the same argument over and over. Because if you argue about stupid things, and I remember my last one, what we were arguing about was stupid, that I had to go shopping or buy a shirt. What we were arguing about was something different. You got to figure out what it is, and it'll never go away still. So this was decades of data by John Gottman. So you're not addressing what the real problem is, and it's not what you're fighting about. Never what you're fighting about. What's on the surface is not really what you're mad about. It's the tip of the iceberg kind of thing. Everything's underneath. A recent study of 141 couples published in Frontiers in Psychology found the emotional reactions during arguments were not from the topic, but what is underneath. When people feel controlled or restricted, they show anger, obviously. When they experience disconnection or being unsupported, they are hurt, sad, disappointed. Arguing about chores is not really arguing about chores. It's about getting respect or being supported. You argue about money. It's about safety and your childhood experience with that. Like maybe you didn't have any money, so you're not feeling safe. Or how you spend your time, your need for closeness. Yes, I like that. Like I feel like, if you're dating someone, like once a week isn't really asking for a lot of time. But so this is activated from patterns shaped by your temperament and attachments. I just figured out what my attachment was. I'm anxious attachment. And I was with somebody who had avoidant attachment, which means I feel everything and I express it because I'm obviously, you look at me. The avoidant, it runs away because they feel pressured. Amazing. Yeah, I feel like getting it all out. Then you deal with it. I don't care anymore after that, but I kind of say what I'm feeling and well, not always, but eventually I kind of let it out. But the avoidant, like, I can't deal with this. It's too much pressure, and I run. That's what the avoidant is. Imagine those two styles. How the hell can you make that work? You can't. A partner who is routine won't become spontaneous. If you go with me, honey, be prepared for some change, because I'm nuts. That's the way I work, too. When I'm walking in the aisles, I see someone else, like, change course. People can't keep up with me when I'm, like, they're shadowing me, and they're like, I just go to them, be prepared to walk fast. Everybody says that to me, like, whoa, calm down. No, I can't calm down. This is what I do. So yeah, I remember, I think it was not Julia Roberts. Sandra Bullock said her mother told her how your boyfriend or husband drives in a car, how he drives a car is how he drives you in a relationship. That means, oh God, watch out. Yeah. Okay, I could talk about something that happened this weekend, but I'm not going to do that. A partner who doesn't express emotions, and I do, won't verbalize that right away, or maybe ever, you know, which that would be a problem for me. Because, like, what do you think I am, a freaking mind reader? The four horsemen of divorce. So this is what can cause it, but according to John Gutman. It's the gridlock. So defensiveness, criticism, contempt, stonewalling. So if you never deal with it, you're going to end up breaking up for good. You'll have the same fights. That's what you do. You have the same fights over and over. How do you resolve it? You don't. Isn't that nice? So realize you're different so you can breathe. Okay, we're different. We have different attachment styles. We're just going to understand that. Don't be afraid. It's always going to be there. Number 2, approach arguing with curious. I'm curious. Okay. I'm curious you hate my guts. Really? Are you going to stab or choke me? I don't think so. I don't really think that I would be like that. Hey, I'm curious why you're calling me names. I don't answer like that. If you're going to get defensive if someone's like attacking you. How do you stop that? Boy, I need a shrink. Number 3, focus on soft emotions. I'm sorry. That's it, guys. All right. Happy birthday to my mommy dearest. And are the Skins on today or the Commanders on today? God help me. I don't want to watch it. It's horrible. I think Philly's playing the Cowboys. Can't wait to watch football. It's already like mostly through the season. I can't deal with it when it ends. Stevie Nicks, everybody that's going in Boston, enjoy yourselves. And have a great week, you guys. Talk to you next week.